Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beyond the Box Score, where we don't just preview games, we dissect every stat, every angle, and every nuance to give you a complete picture of the college basketball matchups that matter. Today, we're diving into 4 intriguing contests that showcase contrasting styles, standout players, and betting opportunities that will test even the sharpest handicappers. From underdog angles to blowout potential, let's break down every matchup in detail and explore exactly where the value lies. Game 1, Buffalo vs AQ. Our first matchup pits the young, hungry Buffalo team, currently 9-1, against a struggling AQ squad at home, sitting at 3-7. On paper, Buffalo seems like the clear favorite. They come off a tight 4-point road win at UNMBC but also suffered a tough 8-point home loss to St. Bonaventure. Their most notable victory was a 13-point road win at DePaul, showing glimpses of their potential. Buffalo's roster is young, led by a true sophomore transfer from Wisconsin, who previously played about 3 minutes per game. AQ, meanwhile, has endured back-to-back home losses to UNCC Greensboro and App State, revealing weaknesses in both shooting and consistency. Yet, the betting angle here is fascinating. Despite everything pointing to Buffalo, AQ is at home, more physical, and boasts superior athleticism. While Buffalo's youth might be tested against ACU's size and energy, the Pirates struggle with shooting, leaving wide-open opportunities for the visitors. The spread is a pick'em, but the commentary leans toward backing AQ, highlighting that sometimes the eye test can defy the numbers. Moneyline action favors AQ at -110 at home, giving bettors a subtle edge on the home dog. Spread lean, AQ. Betting angle, back the underdog at home with superior athleticism despite shooting struggles. Game 2, High Point vs App State, neutral site in Hickory. Next up, we travel to a neutral court in Hickory, roughly 45 minutes from App State and 1.5 hours from High Point. Here, High Point enters at 8-2, while App State is 6-5. High Point is favored by 11.5 points, reflecting their clear statistical advantages. High Point's offense is elite, averaging 92 points per game, ranking in the top 100 in pace, shooting 52% from the field, and protecting the ball with 12 steals per game, one of the nation's best defensive outputs. Their upperclassmen, especially the big men down low, provide a physical presence that can dominate the paint. Their offense rating sits comfortably in the top 15 nationally, giving them a versatile and potent attack. App State, on the other hand, only stands out in rebounding, ranking in the top 100 due to their volume of missed shots. Their offense is slow, bottom 20 in pace, and inefficient, averaging 73 points per game with a 3-point percentage of just 29%. While they have a solid win over AQ, 67-54, this is a team that struggles to keep pace with a high-octane opponent. In this contest, High Point's scoring prowess, quick tempo, and defensive acumen should overwhelm App State. The spread lean is clearly on High Point, and if you're thinking parlay strategy, this one is a strong candidate to cover with authority. Betting angle, superior scoring, pace, and defense dominate. Game 3, Ball State vs Campbell. Game 3 brings us to Ball State, sitting at 3-7, facing a Campbell team that's 4-5 at home, where they've been perfect at 3-0. Ball State has struggled mightily on the road, posting 0-4 straight up, with wins only against Division II schools, Louisiana by 11 and Lemoine by 11. Their style is slow, bottom 75 in pace, with poor shooting metrics, 39% field goal percentage and 29% from 3. Defensively, they rank in the bottom 30 nationally, leaving them vulnerable to more athletic teams. Campbell contrasts sharply, with an up-tempo, top 40 pace offense that scores 84 points per game and hits 7 3-pointers per contest. Their home court advantage and aggressive style give them a clear edge in both tempo and scoring efficiency. Spread is set at Campbell -7.5, and all indicators suggest they should win by more than 8. Betting angle, exploit Ball State's weak pace and poor shooting against Campbell's home dominance and high-tempo scoring. Spread lean, Campbell. Expect a decisive performance at home. Game 4, Iowa vs SI Hawks, Western Michigan. Finally, we have Iowa at 8-2 squaring off against Western Michigan, who sits at 5-5. Iowa is favored by a staggering 28.5 points, reflecting a significant talent and efficiency gap. Iowa plays a slow, deliberate style with strong defense and highly efficient offense. They have dominated in recent victories, plus 3-9 over Chicago State, plus 2-9 over SEMO, and plus 3-2 over Robert Morris, although they did lose a close matchup against SI Hawks by 4 to 5 points earlier. Western Michigan has struggled against competition, with wins only over Coastal Carolina, IPFW, Mount St. Mary's, Sioux Edwardsville, and Sioux. They average 76 points per game, shooting 46%, but turnovers remain a significant issue at 14 per game. While their pace is in the top 70, they face a massive uphill battle against Iowa's disciplined, efficient approach. Based on trends and numbers alone, it's unlikely Western Michigan will score more than 50 points, making this a probable blowout scenario. Spread lean, Iowa. Betting angle. Lean heavily toward the efficient, defensively strong Iowa squad in a likely dominant victory. From the physical home underdog AQ defying expectations against Buffalo, to High Point asserting their pace and scoring superiority, and Campbell exploiting a weak Ball State defense, each matchup presents unique angles for spread and moneyline action. Iowa, meanwhile, stands as the ultimate powerhouse in this group, a team capable of covering a massive spread against overmatched competition. For parlay considerations, combining High Point minus 11.5, Campbell minus 7.5, and Iowa minus 28.5 could provide a high probability multi-leg strategy with explosive potential. Remember, in college basketball, the numbers tell a story, but the narrative, the energy, the matchup nuances, and the home court dynamics often tip the scales. Stay sharp, stay analytical, and back your insights with the stats. These 4 games showcase how data and storytelling converge to illuminate not just who will win, but how and why they might do so. Game 5, New Mexico at FGCU. Our first spotlight of this set brings us to New Mexico, currently 8-2, traveling to face FGCU, who sits at 5-5. The spread context implies a significant number, around minus 15.5 in favor of New Mexico, and the total is set at 160.5 over/under. FGCU comes in off a string of close losses, Kennesaw State by 2, FIU by 6, FAU by 5, along with a heavy 43-point defeat to Illinois. Despite these struggles, they average a robust 85 points per game and play at a top 75 pace. However, their shooting efficiency from 3 sits at 33%, and defensively they rank 299th in the nation, exposing them to high-scoring offenses. New Mexico brings a strong home presence to this matchup, highlighted by a notable road win at VCU. The betting angle favors the Lobos, who are solid at home and face a weak FGCU squad on the road. The total leans over 160.5, particularly if FGCU manages to score around 80 points. This contest sets up as a high-tempo, high-scoring affair where New Mexico's strength and efficiency should dominate against a porous FGCU defense. Spread lean, New Mexico. Total lean, over 160.5. Betting angle, New Mexico strong at home, FGCU weak on the road, take over if FGCU scores approximately 80. Game 6, Wake Forest vs Queens. Next, we head to another high-scoring affair, with Wake Forest 7-3 taking on Queens 5-5. The spread context places Wake Forest favored by roughly minus 15.5 points, with the total over/under at 161.5. Queens has been inconsistent, with wins over South Carolina State plus 2-4 and Gardner-Webb plus 3-3, but heavy losses to Virginia minus 25 and Nova minus 20. They average 85 points per game, play at a top 150 pace, shoot 48% from the field, and their defense ranks among the bottom 20 nationally. Wake Forest has a solid record of 7-3, including a recent 9-point victory over West Virginia. They average 84 points per game, paces top 75, and in matchups against low major opponents, they are 2-2 covering the number, with those games going over the total. Rested for 8 days, Wake Forest finds itself in a favorable spot before ACC competition ramps up, and the betting angle is clear. They possess a combination of scoring efficiency, pace, and freshness that should overpower Queens, especially given Queens' defensive deficiencies. Spread lean, Wake Forest. Total lean, over 161.5. Betting angle, Solid, rested team in favorable spot, high-scoring matchup. Game 7, St. Mary's vs. Boise, neutral site in Idaho Falls. Finally, we turn to a fascinating neutral site clash in Idaho Falls, roughly 4 hours from Boise's campus. St. Mary's, 9-1, faces Boise, 7-3, with the spread set at St. Mary's -1.5. St. Mary's has been near perfect this season, with their only loss coming at Vandy, by a literal billion points. Their resume boasts wins over Virginia Tech, Wichita, Ohio, North Texas, Arkansas State, and Davidson. They are anchored by a massive 7 feet 2 inches, 270-pound center, which gives them a substantial advantage inside. Their team shoots 48% from the field and ranks among the top 50 in both offense and defense nationally. Boise has struggled against quality competition, with losses to USC, NC State, and even a D2 school from Hawaii. They average 79 points per game, play slow, and have difficulty impacting key statistical categories. The betting angle heavily favors St. Mary's, leveraging their dominant interior presence and overall balanced team performance to likely secure a win in this neutral site matchup. Spread lean, St. Mary's. Betting angle, big inside advantage, balanced, top 50 offense and defense. Now it's time for almost bets. Beyond the main slate, several supplemental opportunities stand out. North Texas plus 2.5 at South Alabama is a prime candidate, as they have shown strength on the road when receiving points. Kent State -7.5 also presents value, a stronger team capable of scoring efficiently. Meanwhile, the Troy vs. UAB matchup hints at a high-scoring affair, with the overline surprisingly low. UAB's potent offense and porous defense suggest fireworks are likely. Other trends across these games include fading multiple MAC teams on the road, Buffalo, Ball State, and Western Michigan, while targeting high-scoring overs like New Mexico vs. FGCU 160.5 and Wake Forest vs. Queens 161.5. High spreads of note include Iowa -28.5, High Point -11.5, and Campbell -7.5, all of which highlight dominant teams in favorable spots. Key player props to watch: St. Mary's 7 feet 2 inches center, and Buffalo's Wisconsin transfer, who previously averaged around 3 minutes per game. And there you have it, 7 high-stakes college basketball matchups, each with its own story, statistical edge, and betting intrigue. From Buffalo's underdog challenge at AQ to Iowa's overwhelming dominance, from high-scoring affairs like High Point vs. App State and Wake Forest vs. Queens, to St. Mary's imposing presence at a neutral site, every game offers angles, trends, and prop opportunities that demand attention. If you're serious about gaining an edge, don't just watch, study the stats, understand the matchups, and follow the betting angles we've highlighted across these contests. Remember the key spreads, totals, and standout players, and consider how parlay plays and overs can maximize your potential returns. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Beyond the Box Score, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive, high-stakes college basketball preview. Drop a comment below with which game or prop you're most excited to target tonight. We love hearing your insights. Stay sharp, stay analytical, and remember, the numbers tell the story, but the drama unfolds on the court. Let's make this week of college hoops one to watch, and one to win.